everyone, and just a quick follow-up of my lager review of the first kind of carbonated brew. So we did it at 5 days conditioning. It was 7 days brewing, which some of that 7 days also was kind of cask conditioning as well, because obviously once the brewing had stopped, it obviously still continued to kind of condition in the cask and everything else. 5 days in the bottle was the last video I quickly did, and I said that I would give it 3 to 5 days just to let the kind of flavours settle again. So here we go. As you can see, it's a lot clearer. If I can take the kind of condensation off the bottle, a lot clearer than what it was. So the 5 days has helped with the clarity. We'll soon see what it's like with the flavour. So just a quick, oh, gassy. So let's see how this pours. And there we go. So, nice looking lager, as you can see, nice and clear. It's 2-fingered head. It smells lovely and well carbonated, as you can see. Maybe if you can, there we go. So some good carbonation. Oh, we're getting that kind of, it's a strange, I like to kind of slight evaporated milk kind of smell you get with it. You're getting the grains, you're getting the malts, you're getting a little bit of sweetness as well to it. But yeah, so let's dig in and try it out, see what the extra 5 days has done for it. Oh yeah. Oh. It's got the bitterness, but the bitterness at the back end is now kind of calmed down. It's not as kind of, there's a kind of blend to it. That's what I was saying previously, that the flavours were there at the different parts of the mouth, but they didn't flow. They were like kind of disjointed a bit and isolated. Where this is now, obviously, there's more of a flow, so you're getting your initial flavours and then it's melting into the next flavour and that type of stuff. So there's a connection between the flavours now. So right. So you get a hint of sweetness, just a hint of sweetness just to start with. Then it comes into the kind of maltiness and the kind of graininess to it. It starts to kind of taper off to give you that kind of bitterness, going from the kind of mid-tongue to the kind of back of the mouth, and you're just getting that kind of dryness that goes with it, a nice kind of dryness. It's a heck of a lot of flavour, seriously, a heck of a lot of flavour. I'll be honest, it's refreshing, it's dry, it ticks all the boxes, but because there's so much flavour there, I can't honestly say that this is a session lager. This lager's got so much flavour and so much character that I would say that, yeah, you would probably drink it as, treat it as a more kind of a premium, more like an ale, not a session ale, but something that, you know, there may be 2 or 3 and that would be it. You certainly wouldn't be chugging it. And alcohol content, I would probably say it's over 5. Definitely I would say it's over 5. Just by, I could have taken the gravity test and everything else, but unfortunately I was too busy. But as you can see, lacing the glass beautifully. Look at that, that's really nice. Nice, lively, well cut. It's got a lovely mouthfeel, lovely mouthfeel. And you might think, oh well, you're bumming this up because you brewed it yourself. No. If somebody else had brewed it, I'd still be bumming it up and say, yeah, there's a lot going on, very interesting lager. Because again, sometimes people seem to think, and even to me to a certain degree, that lagers can be quite boring, especially from a British point of view. Not so much if you're looking at, say, Belgian or Czech or kind of German kind of lagers or pilsners or things like that. But yeah, this is interesting. This is really good. I always associate more interesting beers to be more of a kind of ale type, and the darker the beer, the more interesting, the more complex the flavours and everything else, because it's quite difficult to get complex flavours in lighter beers because of how your brewing techniques are. Now, I'm not saying that you can't, but it takes a lot more work and it's a lot more difficult to kind of lock in those flavours. You can have the flavours in the wort and everything else, but to get them at the end of the brew in the fermentation process is quite difficult. And locking them in, sometimes you can put a lot of work in and you just don't get the kind of rewards at the end. You're thinking, well, where's all that kind of work and all that flavour gone? But no, this has worked. This has worked well. Oh yeah. This is a difficult one because it's hitting all the notes that I wanted it to hit. So it did, but there's more than that, and that's probably the interesting side of it. There's more than that just to be the lager. That's the thing. It's kind of like a hybrid between an ale and a lager. So it has attributes of an ale and has attributes. It's the crispness and the dryness of a lager, like I've said before, and it's really there now. But it also has some of the kind of complex kind of maltiness and kind of sweetness and grainness of an ale. So there's a lot of kind of complex flavours. Obviously the kind of dryness and the bitterness is coming from the hops. It's just, but it's a different one. It's not like that kind of you get with an ale or with a bitter or things like that. It's there, but it's I'm not going to say it's gentle because I don't think that's the right way, but it is lighter than an ale. The bitterness that you can get with an ale, it's there, but it's like, you know, it's kind of toned down. And it's just like a kind of, it's like a light ale almost in some ways, but it has that dryness and kind of crispness that you just wouldn't get in an ale. So it's given me other aspects that I didn't expect to get. So it surprised me from that point of view, but I'm very happy. And it's just, look at it, it's just really, really, really good beer. Which is nice, because I've got plenty of bottles to keep going. And we've also got the other ones to try as well, because we're now 10 days into the kind of conditioning of that one. So we've got at least another 10 days to go before we even start sampling that to see what it's like. But yes, a carbonated live brew in technique. To me, yep, that's a success, definitely, and the recipe is a success. So I will use that recipe again. It's a bit of a pain in the ass to actually boil and brew up and everything else, but I will definitely make this again, and hopefully I can replicate it, because it should be able to be replicated again, because I would hate to kind of rebrew this recipe later on and get something different or something not as good. That's always one of the big problems is, yeah, we can always strike it lucky. The biggest kind of issue with any type of home brewing and things like that is consistency. And that's when you've got to obviously understand as well with the brewers, even micro brewers and things like that, fair play to them. They work hard on their consistency, and fair play to them, because it's like consistency in beer brewing is the same as consistency in golf. It's very difficult and very frustrating when you don't get it, even though you followed everything to the letter. What the hell has changed, you know, to give you something that isn't the same? So yeah, obviously I would like to brew this now. Of course, probably by the time I get round to try and brew this again, it's going to be obviously a different season. It'll be probably into at least late autumn, might be even into early winter. So again, that could obviously change everything as well. But it being a lager, it will actually prefer a kind of colder conditioning and obviously brewing temperatures as well. So it might actually improve it in some ways on the lager side, and maybe take some away, you know, take away some of the elements of the ale kind of attributes that we're getting from it. So I would expect it to probably change a little bit, but maybe overly not too much. But yeah, I'm very happy with this, well chuffed. And the only downside is I wish I actually brewed more, because I've only got what? Because it was split, so I split it. So yes, I've got 20 basically pints of each. Well, I did have. I think I'm down a wee bit now, but anyway. It's interesting, really interesting. And some of the rewards you get with home brewed. So yeah, my view right now, this one out of 5, I would give it for a lager. I would treat it as a premium lager, and I would probably give it a 3.5. I would give that a 3.5 out of 5. From the ale attributes, it's a bit different actually, because it's a bit like a hybrid. So if you look at it from an ale point of view, I'd probably maybe give it a 3 from that point of view, because it has some things but has other things that just really shouldn't be there. But of course this was brewed as a lager, not as an ale. So there is ale attributes that are very nice and makes it a more complex and interesting flavour profile. But it ticks the box, it has the crispness, it has the dryness of the lager, and that's why I'm giving it, from a lager point of view, I would give it a 3.5, because it is a really nice lager. It's got some cracking flavours, it's got a lovely mouthfeel, and I didn't even have to leave the house to get it, which is that's worth points in anybody's book. Come on. Basically, I've been sitting on my backside and the damn thing's been doing it all itself. So a little bit of work at the start, but hey, fair play to it. Most of it is done by itself, so well done to the beer itself. Oh yeah, seriously, good lager. So that's us for the update on the carbonated brew. Look out for the videos that are coming up later on with the non-carbonated brew, and we'll see how that gets on. So all the carbonation is going to come from secondary fermentation. So that's us for this video, which is part 2. So there's going to be a part 3, maybe a part 4, but definitely there's going to be a part 3. So thanks for watching, cheers, and bye for now.